Our team has been working with the Green Mountain School District for the last 4 years. They did an RFP to select a company for what's called a performance contract. They interviewed multiple firms and selected EEI to do an energy audit and facilities study for the 3 buildings in the district. The problem is that the issues are so extensive that trying to do it one item at a time, it would take almost 40 years to complete all the needed infrastructure items trying to do it in the budget. The board turned to a solution that I think is the most practical from a construction standpoint, which is a bond vote to deal with all the code issues, all the end-of-life ventilation, as many of the safety issues as possible, to be completed over 2 to 3 years with a bond payment. That will allow the new controls and new ventilation and upgraded lightings to go in at the same time. Trying to do it over time, you may end up having to hook up new ventilation to old controls, put in new lighting and old ceilings, and it never quite works perfectly. With the approach of a comprehensive turnkey bond, is we can hit all 3 schools very hard. Many of the items we're facing, such as the failing oil boiler at the high school, the end-of-life ventilation, those are all issues that it's really hard to kick too much further down the road.
When the town had a bond a number of years ago for the public safety building, it was a large bond, and taxpayers were very concerned about that bond, but it was necessary. This school is in the same situation. I think it's also important for taxpayers to understand that the town and the schools work very well together. Knowing that the schools are doing their bond, the town will be holding off. The town has no plans for bonds going forward for the next several years.
I'm Todd Para. I'm the Director of Facilities, Grounds, and Security for Two River Supervisory Union, as well as a facility supervisor here at Green Mountain Union High School. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about some of our infrastructure needs that we're looking at for our bond. Our boilers, we have 2 boilers in the building. One was installed in 2010, the other that was installed in 1988. Both are at or beyond their usable life. We're looking to replace them with 3 condensing boilers. We cannot operate the building below a temperature of 10 degrees above zero with only 1 boiler. We need them both working. So our operating system with our HVAC system is pneumatic controls, which is all air by compressors in our compressor room. One of them is down right now. We have a very hard time finding anybody in the area to work on those. And if we do have problems, we have to be physically on the premises in order to work on them. So there's no indication if you're away or on a holiday, if there's a problem with the heating or ventilation system, you have to be right here in order to work on it or know that there is a problem.
One major component of the Green Mountain High School project is the building envelope upgrade. And what makes the envelope a little bit tricky here is that you have windows that are integrated to your unit ventilators. So the unit ventilators are what heat and ventilate each one of your classrooms. And the way that they built this back in the 70s is that the unit ventilator is actually inserted into the window cavity. So to make for true energy upgrade, we want to capture the energy that's being exhausted out of the building and reintroduce it through the outside air through a heat exchange process with an energy recovery unit. Why I'm bringing this up with the building envelope is because when we get into replacing the windows, we're going to be removing the unit ventilators and going with a whole new glass curtain wall system.
New system would eliminate all those, and we would be directly heating from above. Much more efficient and much more cost effective.
There's no way to verify airflow inside of spaces. There's no way to check the temperature inside of classrooms. And what you end up with is a building that has spaces that are either over-ventilated or under-ventilated, or heating spaces that are overheating and underheating.
With the new HVAC system, energy savings will come with the digital controls that we'll be able to control airflow, temperature, any other problematic issues that arise with each classroom. We'll reduce our maintenance costs, obviously, with the new system, but being able to control it without being physically on site for airflow, air exchanges per minute will be a huge help for safety inside the classroom. The windows in the building, as you can see by some of the pictures, are extremely compromised on the outside. The inside, we've lost a lot of the gases inside the windows. They're original to the building, except for in the library. So another aspect of this project is going to be changing the air handlers in the cafeteria and gymnasium. We have 2 in each area. 2 in the gym. 1 has been down, broken for some time now. All 3 of the rest of them are at end of life, and they're very inefficient. The new updated ones would be high efficiency and save us money on propane and on maintenance.
One of the great projects at Green Mountain High School and at the 2 elementary schools as well is going to be the LED lighting upgrade. Right now, the building utilizes a lot of old fixtures with fluorescent lighting. The lighting is not dimmable, it doesn't have occupancy sensors, and for the most part, they turn on at 7 o'clock in the morning and they stay at full operation until 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're going to replace each one of the fixtures. So right now, the fixtures hang below the ceilings. The new light fixtures are going to be incorporated into your new drop ceiling. Some of the great lighting features that you're going to see with them is daylight harvesting. So if a light fixture is near a window, they're auto dimming. They're going to maintain a foot candle at the desk. Teachers will have the ability to increase the intensity or decrease the intensity at the desk. So if you have a science project and you need extra light, the teacher is going to be able to go over there and dim the lights so that they're brighter. If they're doing a presentation in the front, they're going to be able to dim the lights so that they're not as bright. This is going to improve the learning environment for the students inside the space. You're going to see energy improvement. So a lot of the existing lights are utilizing 4 T8 fluorescent lights in each one of the fixtures. Each one of those will produce upwards of 130 or 140 total watts. On top of it, the bulbs have to be replaced periodically, and starting in 2024, you're no longer be able to purchase those bulbs. So the new light fixtures that we would be installing would utilize LED strip lighting that do not require bulb replacement, so your maintenance costs are going to be going down, and the wattage is going to be reduced by 60 to 70% per fixture. So it's going to be better environment, you're going to have less maintenance. In a few years from now, you're not going to be worried about where you're going to source the bulbs for your existing light fixtures.
There'll be a large upgrade to our electrical systems here, where a lot of our breakers are getting very, very weak. Just at the start of school this year, we had 1/3 of the building out of power, and it's just a weak breaker. The breaker actually was stamped 1969 on it. A lot of our breakers are that old. They've lasted their life, and they all need to be upgraded.
We're excited about the upcoming bond and the fire upgrades that are going to be happening. Sprinkler systems being put in at Green Mountain, upgraded doors, which makes all the keying to the rooms all one, which is a huge time savings for us going through I would say close to 100 keys, and trying to make entry into each room is very difficult. So that's going to be a huge time saver for us. Egress windows at the elementary school is a huge safety upgrade, and the fire alarm systems for all 3 schools, Green Mountain, Chester Andover Elementary School, and Cavendish, which is long overdue and will bring great safety to our children and staff here.
We will be working on the kitchen upgrade. A new hood will be installed, new flooring in the kitchen. Our freezer especially has bad seals in the doors, the compressor on the freezer. We have some mold issues in the hallway when the humidity is high, so we'll be looking to address that with new upgrades to the freezer and the cooler. Part of our project is going to be to address our asbestos issues that we have in some joints on our water pipes. That should have been addressed 20 years or so ago. We're going to be upgrading our railing systems in all the stairwells to bring those up to ADA code.
Another code issue that has come up is the original elevator inside of the building, which has seen a lot of wear and tear over the years. This high school has done a great job of maintaining it and replacing the jack and the submersible pump, but the cab is still original to the building, and all the controls are, which have been constant maintenance issues for the school over the years. Part of this project will be all new closers and doors with a new interior skin with a new control system. It's going to be almost a brand new elevator while reducing the cost and keeping the project reasonable for the taxpayers. When you really look closer at your HVAC system, your heating plant, your controls, this is a lot of deferred maintenance on infrastructure that's 20, 30, 40 plus years old. Some of it's even original to the building. And the reality is it just doesn't work the way that it needs to today.
And our students are directly impacted by that reality. So if we can do what's necessary to upgrade those systems, then our students will be able to have a better educational experience here. And I think that is the key in this process.
Hi, I'm Catherine Fogg. I'm the principal at Chester Andover Elementary School, and I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming bond, which we're putting forward for improvements to our schools. And I'm really excited that it's actually happening. So the upgrades to the windows would have double pane window, which would keep the windows from rattling when it's windy, but also they would have a tint on them for safety reasons so that people couldn't see in and make us feel a lot safer. We would be safer. The other part of that is that the windows are so old, we don't have egress windows, and part of the building, the classrooms do not have a separate exit.
There's no real air circulation. The windows kind of open up towards the classroom, so air doesn't come through. It's also concerning that we're not able to get out of the classroom through the window if we wanted to. If there was a situation, an unfortunate situation, that's not an opportunity for us.
The upcoming bond would also be upgrading the parking lot so that we would have finally new pavement. We have a lot of potholes and we need that piece done, but we also need safety upgrade. About redesigning the parking lot so that we had our cars and our buses separate. Right now, our cars and our buses come through the same space, and it isn't safe.
Creating a more comfortable environment for them to learn in is going to be such a key part of the success of their future careers and their future opportunities. When kids feel comfortable and they feel safe, they are not only in a place where they can learn better, but they are also happier to be here.
One of the first things that I would like to talk to you is about the fire alarm system. I'm somebody that is arriving to you straight from California. I used to say years ago, why do we have to do so many fire alarms? There hasn't been a school that is burnt down in many, many years. And then last year in California, one of our local schools burnt down. So I am coming to you firsthand saying the importance of having up-to-date fire alarm systems that we can use in an instant to open doors and access and keep kids safe. Speaking along those same lines, we have a playground that is antiquated as well, that is over 20 years old.
Our playground is in dire need of repair. I just was out there with my students about 5 minutes ago, and although that they love it and they use it very well, it is not close to being what I think our students could use for our building. Our students deserve to have equipment that is safe and that is fun and that allows their bodies to take full advantage of their development.
We can improve the fields and playgrounds at Cavendish, as well as upgrade their ventilation to have MERV 13 filtration.
We have 2 boilers in the building, and we're looking to replace them with 2 condensing boilers.
We also have, as part of our bond here at Cavendish, weatherization. We know that if we can have proper building structures that prevent ice fall, then we can extend our playtime outside.
My name is Joseph Fromberger. I am a member of the Green Mountain Board from Andover. I'm asking for the voters of the 4 towns to consider voting and approving of the proposed bond issue that is intended to pay for a great number of mechanical replacements that have failed over the last 50 years.